Hey, this is Sarah. Look, I'm standing out front of AM/PM right now, and well, you're sweet and all, but I found something more fulfilling, even kind of cheesy, but I like it. Sure, you met some of my dietary needs, but they've just got it all. So farewell, oatmeal. So long, you strange, soggy
Break up
breakfast.
with bland breakfast and taste AM/PM's Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit. Made with cage-free egg, smoked bacon, and melty cheese on a buttery biscuit. AM/PM, too much good stuff.
Looking for love and dating apps and DMs. Looking for love and nothing is sticking. Seeing red flags, getting catfished. What's up? Gotta do now that I found two gals and that'll help me. I just can't wait to get adjacent to you. Looking for love.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Single Ready to Mingle. Very different style that we're doing today. We have a twist to our Single Ready to Mingle.
I love it.
This time, what do we have, Shelly? Tell everybody.
I've been following this story for years. I get the play-by-play on this. We have this beautiful young lady in our lives. We love her dearly. She has the biggest, sweetest heart. And she is the daughter to our beloved Luressa. And her name is Meagan. And she is just a bad picker. She's a bad picker. She's a bad picker. And it's like, I think she has confidence and she knows she's gorgeous and smart and capable. I don't think it's a self-worth thing. I think she just kind of likes a bad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she picks on. But the funniest thing is I was editing Dateable AF, and they were just talking about that something recently came out that when the parents pick the partner, those marriage last.
Wow.
And then out of the blue, Kimmy calls me and is like, hey. And then she told me, hey, Luressa is like, yeah, I want to come on and talk about finding a man for Meagan. And I go, okay, well, I'm calling her right now. And she goes, perfect. And so here we are. I mean, this has all happened in the last hour.
Yes.
And this all came together. And so we're very excited. Just from my perspective, before y'all deep dive, I've known Meagan since she was, I think like 14, 15.
Probably.
Is that it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she used to babysit for the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we love her. And I follow her on all those social medias. And she does look like a baby Lou.
That's
gorgeous.
nice.
I know. She's gorgeous. She's stunning. And so I think watching her journey just from like an auntie, if you will, I would say that I want her to find a really good partner.
A good partner. Yeah.
A very good partner that knows her self-worth and helps her see her self-worth and not that she doesn't at all. I think she understands she's gorgeous and smart and beautiful. But helps her achieve the greatness she was put on earth for, because I know there's something really good gonna happen for her. And I just think she needs that love and support. And so
I agree.
So you tell us what go for it.
Okay, let's start with this. How old is Meagan?
Meagan is 32. She'll be 33 in November.
All right. Okay, so she's a Scorpio. So let's see if these are things that you agree about. Meagan. Determined.
Yes.
Brave.
Yes.
Loyal.
Yes.
Honest.
Yes.
Has ambition.
Yes.
Resourceful.
And her ambition has grown. Like this is more like, 2025 Meagan definitely has ambition. When she was dating some of these losers, I think they sucked the ambition right out of her. So
intuitive.
Yes.
Passionate.
Yes.
Passionate. Magnetic.
Yes.
But on her negative traits, is she jealous?
I don't know because I don't.
Okay. You don't see that side, right?
Probably, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe a little. Maybe at times secretive.
Yeah.
Or more guarded, I guess.
Guarded. Yeah.
Guarded, yeah. And stubborn. I think that's a good trait.
She's is stubborn.
And intense. I also think that's a good trait. I'm sorry. I think that's a positive trait.
Wouldn't be intense maybe at times, but not with me since I'm not, so.
Yeah. So in the past she's had some not so great relationships. And when she was dating these guys, would she take your advice, or was she like, you just don't know him the way I know him? Or were there red flags that you were like, Meagan, this is a red flag, or do you just kind of let it work its way through and try to
on how bright the red flags were? If they were just kind of like orange flags, I would just like, she'll figure it out,
Yeah.
There have been times that the red flags were so glaring. I'm like, listen, this is a problem. This is a problem. And she's like, and she's a fixer. Like, I think she thought she could fix them and change them. And, and I was like, it's not going to happen. Not at this age. And, and nobody needs to try to change anybody. I just think that's the way it is. And so we'll just, she would, and when she is in a relationship, she doesn't give up on it easy. Even great. She just really thinks, oh, this is going to turn around and this is going to work. But, it didn't.
Well, she's loyal. So she's
very loyal. Yeah.
Yeah. And it sounds like she's trying to see the good out of bad and the optimistic, like it's going to get better.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And so I don't think it's ever been a self-worth. I think she's a caregiver.
Yeah.
And I think that she's like, I can make this person strong. And that's I love on Dateable AF that Dr. Kyle recommends this all the time. She's like, if you don't like who they are when you meet, walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away, because that there's not going to be a lot of growth.
Right.
They're putting their best foot forward is in, that first meeting, or like I've told Meagan, like in your first like 6-8 weeks of dating, that should be easy peasy. And if you see one red flag, out, because people can really fake it for a while, but they're showing the red flags really early and they're glaring red flags.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 32. She's not playing games. She wants to date somebody because she wants to find her life partner. She wants to be married one day. She wants to have a family one day. So she doesn't want, and she just, the guys that she's attracting are, still out there just playing the field. And she's
ready for that next step. Does Meagan have any kids?
No, she's never been married. No children.
Never been married. No. Okay. Well, that actually is a good thing, because I think that kind of makes it where there's less drama in the situation.
Right. And that's why, she would probably date somebody with children, although I would caution her against it. And no, nothing against that, because obviously I'm from, I have a blended family, but that's another layer of drama that I don't think anybody needs. Maybe if they have kids that they have a really great relationship with the ex, okay, but that third person in the wheel, it's just too much. So.
Yeah, if they have a strong relationship with their ex-partner and they're about the children, and I think that could be okay. But if it's like, if there's any level of discourse, like just not a positive relationship with the ex, that's a red flag for sure. And maybe not against the person she potentially would date, but it just would, like you're saying, cause more drama. When was her last relationship? How long has she been single?
She's been single now for quite some time, which is also a first for her. She tends to get into relationships quickly, and I think that has been one of her issues too, because she gets in a relationship quickly and then's like, oh wait, maybe this isn't so great, but I'm going to make it work, So it's probably been her and that last guy who was the worst guy. Maybe 6-8 months since they finally 100% cut ties, but for the last really year and a half, it was on off.
Oh gosh, those are the worst.
When I was day one, he's not the one. He's not.
Yeah, there you go.
Really, listen to your mama. Listen to your mama.
They see things that you don't see.
Well, they only want what's best.
Yeah.
They want what's best for you. They want you to be the best you. So they're not going to pick somebody that isn't going to be a good partner.
Yeah. Other than people who are emotionally not ready for what she's ready for necessarily, what does she usually gravitate to other than, like you said, the bad boy or the situation?
Like her type.
Yeah.
Well, her type, like physically, is like tall, dark, and tatted. Like that's her type. Tatted. She does like the taller guys. She's only like 5'2". She's tiny.
Yeah.
But she likes them tall. So
yeah.
She
What would be your type for her?
Good question.
Manly. She dated. I mean, she's dated some that were in her eyes very manly, but to me weren't. Like I guess it's all a version of manly. To me, a manly man protects their partner and takes care of their partner. And I don't mean financially and all that. I just mean make sure that they're safe at all times and things like that. But that is not the type of partner she's had before where they're like, they'll just get mad at her and leave her at a club or whatever. And I'm like, what? Just that. But physically, I don't have a type for her. I just want it to be, somebody who's a real man who, will take care of her.
Was going to protect her heart.
And, protect her well-being. Where I've told her before, I said, I want you to be with somebody that I know you're safe. You're safe. Whereas last couple of relationships, I was always worried that she was unsafe. And that's not the feeling you want. So,
yeah. I just pulled up 10 things that every parent wants for their child as in a partner. They want respectful, educated, and not college educated, but educated in whatever they're doing. This made me laugh out loud. Clean,
clean,
polite, funny, open, understanding, sentimental, and I know that's important for Lou. Adoring, and I think that is what I haven't seen in some of Meagan's partners is they're not adoring to this beautiful human, and you want them to be ambitious.
Yes.
And whatever they're doing. And so I think those are good ones. And I think she's had some partners that didn't have half of those.
Right.
Yeah. And then they had all the negative qualities.
Yeah, well, you don't want from a partner. Yeah.
So if you were going to plan a dream date for Meagan, what would you think that Meagan would respond to in your eyes that would be a positive date for her? Like something that she could aspire for or dream.
She really likes nice dinners out and, a nice cocktail or, and things like that. But she loves live music and she's pretty much open to anything. That's the good thing is she's not very rigid and, her likes, she's kind of got a huge, swath of things that she likes. So really just something maybe not the norm, something a little bit different. And it takes, her into consideration, just like, don't take her to some like Lego convention or something because that's not her. Or video games, that's not her. But if it's about music or nice food and conversation, that's good.
Or an urban walk. I think she'd be down for an urban walk. And Meagan is related to Luressa. Luressa lives on a ranch and she is an outdoorsy gal too. Luressa has a bunch of chickens, Meagan follows them around with a camera whenever she's out there. She loves that. So,
loves to hear. So that's the other thing. It needs to be somebody who's okay with hanging out with the family, all day at the ranch and swimming and things like that. Meagan likes to spend time with the family. And, it'd be great if there's somebody who's good with that. We don't require them to be here all the time, but we'd like them to come out, every once in a while. So.
Well, explain, I know we've talked about it before on the podcast, but explain your family dynamic because it is something that somebody would have to engage in.
Right. It's a lot. We have a lot. We have a big family. Meagan is the only girl of 5 children. She is a twin, so there's that. Her twin is a boy, but she has 4 brothers.
Okay.
And she's only got one that's younger than her twin brother, and then 2 old.
Okay.
The 2 older brothers are her stepbrothers.
Okay.
But they're all very close. You wouldn't know that any of them are step because they're all very, very close, and they all treat each other just like brothers and sisters. They tease, they love, all that stuff.
Yeah.
The older 2 are married. And actually, take that back. Garrett, who is not older than her, he's 9 months younger than her, but he's married.
Okay.
And we have, with all of those kids, we have 9 grandkids, about to be 10. So we have a big, and so, we like
healthier.
Yeah, we have a healthier. Yeah, we like big family gatherings, and Meagan loves to be a part of that. And her last relationship, he at the beginning didn't really want to come out much, and then wasn't welcome here. So she wants somebody she can bring, and we do family trips, and we stuff like that. And so we want somebody
who's going to engage in some family time, and hopefully they have a healthy family as well, and then maybe it can just even grow and get bigger. So that would be great. And where does Meagan live right now?
He lives in Austin.
Okay.
So she lives in Austin.
All right. So she lives in Austin.
And she works from home, so she doesn't meet anybody that way. And
it does make it so hard.
And that's why I was hoping that she would, find a different job that worked in an office. I said, because that's how I met my husband at work, but I also have met some great girlfriends that way. And
absolutely. I mean, because you kind of trauma bond when you're in closer proximity together over your job. So what would you say her age range would be?
Well, she's 32. I don't think she needs to date anybody younger than her. A couple of the people she's dated have been right at her age or a couple of years younger. And I just think mature-wise, they weren't there. Not saying anybody her age wouldn't be more mature. There might be somebody younger that's more mature, but maturity-wise, they need to be probably at least 35. I would say maybe 40 would be the top age. I mean, she's 32, so maybe 80.
So 32 to 40 at the
right.
40 being the outer. I get that. That's for sure. What would be in your mind that a date that Meagan would hate? What would be like? She's like, I cannot stand this date. Why did I go on it? This is a deal breaker. What would be the worst date for Meagan?
Star Wars convention.
Yeah, probably a Star Wars convention or anything like that. She's not super nerdy, but she loves like films and indie films and things like that. So she's into a lot of that stuff. She would go to like anywhere from like a hard rock concert to like old school country. I mean, she kind of likes all music, which is good. Yeah. But I don't know of any like serious date that would be. I mean, I really do think you can have fun with anybody. It all depends on the person that you're with. So
it really does. Definitely. Maybe somebody who's like not a talkative person.
Right. Because she's talkative. She is talkative. On a one-on-one, she can get pretty talkative. And
it's like, first date, come with me to my church. And I think that might be a little harder for her.
Yeah. First date. Be coffee, something small. It just
start out small.
Yeah.
Some of these people are like, we're gonna go do X, Y, Z. I'm like, maybe bring it down a little.
Yeah, first date should be a smaller amount of time. Start with coffee, and then if you just kick it off, then maybe it can lead into then going to dinner or something. But
yeah, for sure. That's what I want her. So you said she likes to date guys with tats. Does she have any tattoos?
She does, and I could not even tell you how many. She's got several. Luckily, she doesn't have none on her face. There's none, everything is like, in her midsection, I guess. So she's got a few on her arms and, one on her leg. She has a butterfly with an L on her arms for me. So,
aww. And you and Meagan are super tight. Y'all are very close.
We're very close.
Oh, yeah. Really, you also need to get by Mama Bear for this to be a deal that's going to be worth it forever and ever.
But I'm not one of those moms and mother-in-laws, because I am a mother-in-law, that needs to be involved in everything. I actually don't want to be involved in most things. I just want you to include me in the fun stuff. But if y'all are having an argument, I don't want to know. Don't call me. Don't tell me.
Wow.
I don't want to be your go-to person. So
yeah, I get it. What would be some deal breakers that you think Meagan needs to shy away from, or that she's even voiced that are deal breakers for her or ex?
Well, here are the 3 things that I told her. These are the 3 things that anybody she dates need to have. And the last couple of guys have not had any of these: a job, a place to live, and their own car. And the last
not and number 4, they need to bathe. They need to bathe.
Yeah. So yeah, it was so I just want somebody who, I mean, they don't need to be making, tons and tons of money, but pay your own way. Don't lean on her to, she's 32 and she's been on her own, this whole time. So she doesn't need to take on somebody else's responsibility. And it would be nice if somebody had their own vehicle. Or, it seems like, I don't know what's going on with these late 20s, early 30s guys with no cars, and they just drive her car everywhere. And I'm like,
no.
Yeah. So
we are living in like Chicago and New York and
right, well, it's kind of the norm.
Like, yeah, but you live in Texas. I told my kids early on, I'm like, riding a bike, tying your shoes, and driving a car. These are life skills of Texas. If you move over to New York, you don't have to learn to.
Those weren't the only life skills. You said you need to be able to catch a fish and shoot a snake.
Lots of ways, but definitely you got to be able to drive a car. Because I remember my kids, Cameron and Harry, they just were like, I don't want to learn to drive a car. And I was like, it's a life skill. Get in there. You're going to
learn. Yeah.
So I think, unfortunately, this generation, these 32-year-old males, I'm like, come on, guys. Like,
manly. I think she just needs a manlier man who is like, no, we're going to take my car and, I'm going to drive because I'm the guy, and I'm not going to drive your, purple Honda Fit. And the other deal breaker, I would say, because I thought about this a lot. I don't think anybody like on the political spectrum should be hard left or hard right. They can be right or left, but no super hard right or super hard left. They kind of
so somewhere in the middle, a moderate. Okay,
we're not a super political family, but it can't be anybody who's like we hunt and things like that. So we don't want anybody showing up and being mad that we're having the deer we shot yesterday for dinner or something. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to get along with the family a little.
Yeah.
So how does she typically meet the people she dates? How does she typically meet?
I think lately it's been on the dating apps and things like that. And I think that's just so superficial that you can, you don't really get to know who the core person is. And that's what you and I have talked. I mean, we've talked about this for the last couple of years, that I said, I'm just going to find the guy for you. She said, I'm all for an arranged marriage. She's like, obviously, I'm not doing well on picking these guys. She's like, I trust you. And she knows I want the best for her. And I want her to be happy, and I kind of know her physical type. So,
Would she date a blonde guy? Has she ever dated a tall blonde guy?
I've never seen her date a blonde guy, but I don't know that she would be opposed for it. She said, I did ask her before, I said, quick, who's your celebrity crush? And she said Liam Hemsworth. And he's light colored hair, isn't he?
Yeah.
So Australians, go ahead and apply. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, all Australians apply.
Yeah, that's a tall beefcake right there. That's what it looks like. That's not an aspen tree. That's a sycamore right there.
Out there in the 666, Jody. Out there in the 666.
Yeah. Well, and whoever does marry Meagan, her chances of having twins are higher since she is a twin, and she's a fraternal twin. So that's, the hereditary thing. But
that's cool. You can get it done in one swoop.
That's right. Right.
So is Meagan, I'm going to already assume, is she a pet person?
Yes. She has a cat. Okay. She did have a dog, but she's moved into a apartment. So somebody else is taking the dog, an old neighbor who loved that dog. So now she has 2 cats. But she's a dog and a cat person. She loves them both probably equally.
Yeah.
Do they sleep with her?
I don't know. I think maybe one of them does. The other one's not as friendly. I think he's not a mean cat. He's just not as lovable. Or she, I don't know. I'm a bad grand cat person.
I would be too.
Yeah. I'm not a huge cat fan. It's not my favorite. So, but she loves her cats. I don't know. I think one of his name is Max, but the other one, I don't know.
I think I'm just allergic to them. So that's my main.
what part of town? What part of town is she living in now?
Like Eastern Florida. Yeah. Area. Yeah. Yeah. And she has a roommate and they're great. So it's really nice.
That's good. Roommates are good. So I know it's really hard for her to find love at work, because she's working electronically, basically. And we can tell that she was catfished a little by some of her prior findings. So when I know for you, like when she goes on a date, do you think she should pay, they should pay, or share the bill? What do you think, Mom?
I think a first date, because I'm old school, I think he should pay. And then after that, I think maybe they should go back and forth. It all depends, where they're going and whose idea it was. If she says, hey, let's go to Perry's Steakhouse, and if it's her idea, then she should pay. But, the first date, I think it should be the guy just because.
Yeah.
After that,
I don't think it's. I think you should share it a little afterwards. But if it's a first date, it's kind of nice. Now, she could do what I would do. Be like, if I was the dude, I'd be like, let's meet for coffee. And then that's the first date. And then the second date, it's her turn. And we're going to go to
Benjamin's Steakhouse.
That's right. She'd be like, Mom,
I'm in by your rules.
Yeah. And how does the guy feel about on the first date his mom goes? I'm just kidding.
Well, the one I'm thinking of, he would probably love it. He'd be like, yes, I'm down for it. Would she relocate out of state if it progressed?
She probably would. I'm just wondering how I would feel about that, which I have always said that I want my kids to move out of Texas because that's one of my biggest regrets. I've never lived anywhere but Texas, so I've never experienced that. And I would like her to experience that. But once she starts having kids and stuff, that's going to be tough for me to be that far away. But, if it's the right guy and it's like, if it's really the right person for her, I would support it. And I think she would do it. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking of somebody very specific, but I think this can go for anybody. If somebody is kind, but mainly guy, but is a kind person, is that a turnoff for Meagan?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Years ago it was that she kind of looked for that bad boy, but I think now she knows that. I think she's looking for something more like her brothers are to their wives and my husband is to me. She's looking for more of that instead of that excitement that comes from, some guy who's just,
Can I borrow your car so I can go buy some weed?
Yeah. Yeah.
And does Meagan,
can I borrow some money to go buy that weed?
Can I use your debit card for that?
Does Meagan like sports?
She does like sports. She likes to watch sports, and I know that her last relationship, they both watched football together, and he was a big Eagles fan, I think, and so she kind of got to where she liked that.
Red flag. Just kidding.
I know, which I was like, I didn't like anything that guy liked. I'm like, nope. It was like,
I'm just kidding. I have a lot of friends that are Eagles fans, but if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you are not an Eagles fan.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so a Cowboys fan would be a plus. She likes sports. She likes, she's kind of game for.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's really easygoing.
It is easygoing. I mean, she and I went to that Two-Step In concert together this town, and we had the best time, and that's all different kinds of music and things like that. So it was fun, and the weather was not great, but she just drew for it. She loved it. We had fun. So.
Well, and they both look like supermodels walking around there during the rainstorms and everything. It was like, my gosh. I'll send you pictures, Jody. You'll be like, what the heck?
She's got all the best features, I'll tell you that. Like, she's like her. She's got these big, beautiful blue eyes. I do not have blue eyes. Mine are hazelish green, but
they're beautiful.
Thank you. And she's dark hair, blue eyes, and she just it's red right now that she's got it red. But
yeah,
nice.
Okay, so she will travel. Hopefully, they'll just settle back here. And she's sounds like she's like all that. I mean, I'm really impressed. What does she do for a living? I know she works online, but what is it specifically? Because
Yeah, well, she does like customer service or customer. I guess I don't know how it's
It's recruiting.
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's great. Okay, I'm assuming she would, but would she go camping and be like outdoorsy and
Camp. Yeah, as long as it's not 100% outside. She loves camping. She loves being outside. Yeah, she loves all that.
I mean, she sounds like a real, like, just perfect. And
I think so.
And then
I love her.
yeah, Austin just has like this, there's a certain type of man that is the majority of the people in Austin. And I don't think that's what she's looking for long term, and I think she's finally realized that's not what she's looking for long term. She wants more, it doesn't have to be super rugged, but somebody who can probably change her tire, if they needed to.
The expectations, remember our expectations for a partner? Now they're like,
okay, I'm gonna
take a bath.
Take a bath at least twice a week.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. One time, no names, but this friend of mine, her tire went flat, and she didn't call her husband to change her tire. She asked this other guy to change her tire. And that was a sign for us that that husband might not be hitting it right.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Not sustainable. Not sustainable.
I mean, whatever. Maybe he had a very busy meeting. And
You either need to know how to change a tire, or you've got to be able to afford it.
Like more outsource.
One or the other. Yeah.
Play your way. I have this. I'm out of town. I'm so sorry. Or yeah. No, I agree with you. I think as the world is moving less away from the patriarch, which I believe a lot of things absolutely have to change. For everybody, there needs to be equality, and people need to be treated well in the world, but it doesn't have to mean that we have to stray away from creating people that can be self-sufficient and take care of themselves. That is not a male trait to be able to take care of yourself. That is just an adult trait.
Yeah. Yes. And don't expect your girlfriend to take care of you. And just sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get to the sexy questions. I'm just kidding.
I don't think I can answer that.
What is Megan's favorite love position?
What is Megan's love language? What is her love language?
Yeah.
I believe that it would be words of affirmation. I think hers is the same as mine.
She needs to be lifted up. She
Yeah,
needs to be lifted up.
just like me. Like I like to, somebody to tell me I'm, good or whatever, and I think that's hers too. So, and I think her love language that she gives is acts of service.
Oh,
So do you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
well, and I think another thing for you, Luressa, that is just, to me, I'm like, wow, you are a shower upper. You show up. You are there. You're that person that's like, oh, I had a bad day today. Okay. And then all of a sudden, there's Luressa at your door.
I try.
But especially if it's bingo, AI bingo.
What the heck? Maybe that's why we don't have like people doing it themselves. AI's doing your own bingo. They don't even give you a dauber.
I know.
Say bingo now.
Because it's yell bingo. Now we don't have to yell bingo. It'll just do it. So. You don't even have to go. They'll just drone it right over.
Yeah. Here's your ticket for the horse race.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, so funny.
I think we're gonna find love for her. I think we have.
I hope so. I did have some. I asked her non-negotiable. She doesn't dig a bald man. She likes hair. She likes him tall. I said,
well, at this age, she needs to get over that shit.
I don't know. No, maybe, and maybe if it's, you never know. I mean,
when they say they have more testosterone,
maybe. I don't know. too much. Just
Okay, so no, not bald typically. What
typically.
else?
Yeah. And then she said, at least 6 foot, but I said, you need to get over that. You're only 5'2". Tall to you. I mean,
I think I agree with you. I heard Heather McDonald on her podcast. She's like 5'11". She goes, I don't think it's really fair when these 5'2" girls are grabbing the 6 feet up when I'm 5'11". You know, I was like, I get you. Yeah, and I
there are a
think
lot of really tall guys like really tiny girls too. So there's that.
Yes.
But I think, as long as they're like, taller than her, I guess. I don't know, but she's only 5'2". We can't go that short, but
yeah, taller than her. But I don't know. I feel bad for our short kings out there. I'm like, there could be a guy with a great personality that hits all the other criteria, and just because they might be a little short, I'm like, they could be the best guys. And it's like, I think that is secondary to someone who's going to be kind, considerate, gives her words of affirmation, builds her up, supports her, gets her to that next level, and isn't like a drag. Is not like, it's like, you don't need sandbags. No sandbags need to apply to this. Okay.
Lots to have a good time, but doesn't always have to be going out. Like, I think that's the other big thing. It's, the party phase seems to be lasting later in life for some of these guys. And, that's not what she's looking for. Or she just, going out to the bar all the time. That's not what she wants to do. She would like to just, go on a real date or just hang out at home. And she really loves to cook. She's a good cook. And so
oh, wow.
Which is, I don't love to cook. It's not my thing. But she does. And
yeah, it's a bonus for dating Meagan is you are getting this big, beautiful family. Mm-hmm. And that is such a gift. And I think that is definitely an attribute that should be added. Did she have any other ex that she was like, no? She said Bob. Okay, that's it.
That's really it. She just wants somebody who's good and kind and.
Okay, well, you have to do this TikTok trend when this guy comes over for the first family meal. Okay. Everybody has to be sitting around the table, that big, beautiful family, and then y'all stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance before you eat.
I would love that. I would love a funny story about the pledge. So our friend Bonnie, she's not from Texas. And when the kids were in kindergarten, she went to assembly and we were all standing there, and it was her first time at the assembly, and they did the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we turn and do the Texas pledge.
Texas flag. I mean, allegiance to me.
She was like, what? Like, what is this? Because I guess other states don't do that, but
they don't.
No. Yeah. And then he did it in Spanish, and she was like,
I know. We used to do it in English, Spanish for the American, and then English, Spanish for the Texas pledge, and then we'd have our moment of silence. So yeah.
And then with our family, how crazy and silly they are. So my husband's family, before we had a house fire recently, but before that, we were going to have all his from Washington State for Thanksgiving. And one of his sisters especially is very prim and proper and manners and things like that. And we're about manners, but not to her extent. And so my kids were 100%, they were going to get those retractable forks and then start taking each other's food. And then one of the boys said, I'm just going to have baby bird me. And I was like, so that it was going to be, that's the family that you get.
Yeah.
If you date Meagan like this, it gets a little crazy and insane. We had
a perfect
aggressive game of musical chairs this past Christmas. It was
oh my God.
Well, that sounds amazing. I think we have some people in mind, and if you are wanting to get connected and adjacent to Meagan, you'll have to go through a Auntie Bear and Mama Bear a little bit, but sounds like Meagan is just a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
She is a 10 out of 10, but really it's the whole package. The whole package is a dream.
And then that takes it to the next level.
I know. It's so lovely. And they're so kind and wonderful. And I love Meagan so much. And I want her to have a very lovely, kind partner.
It's time. It's time.
It is time. I'm ready.
All right. Well, you are a loving mom, and we will keep our eyes out. All
Thank
right.
you. I'm excited to come back and introduce everybody to her fiance one day.
I know.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
That'd be great.
I know we're dying for an adjacent wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Have it right.
That's right.
Done.
Okay, Lou, sign us out. We know you know it.
Yay, Texas, Texas. Yeehaw.